black preachers who are racist in their hearts. They are not called by God, but they've been called by their mama.
The Jesse Lee Peterson Show is the only program in existence which deals straight up with black Americans.
So-called civil rights leaders want them angry, dumbed down, and demoralized.
It's not the leaders that blacks need, but good fathers and mothers.
Welcome to the show. I appreciate you tuning in. My name is Jesse Lee Peterson. My guest is Pastor Helen Brooks, Happy Union Baptist Church out in Plainville, Texas, and she's also the co-founder of Outcast Ministry. I appreciate you hanging out again. And her stepmother's with us for this 30 minutes, Pat Jackson. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thank you.
First, I want to ask you, Pat, you've seen my TV show.
Yes.
What was your impression when you first saw me on TV?
I was really kind of distraught with it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the things that you were saying. I didn't feel like that they were right.
Were they true?
Especially no. They wasn't true about all black people. You know, we can state some things about some black people,
right,
but all black people are not the same.
Right. I always say most. I never say all. I make it a point to say not all, but most. Mm-hmm. Most black people are screwed up. What did I say about blacks that you disagree with that wasn't true?
I didn't like the things you said about black men.
What did I like what, for example?
About them they are rulers over women. I mean, you know, they are the head of the household.
Black
we'll put
men
it that way. Yes, they
most
are.
Black men?
Yes, black men are the head of the household.
Where is this? In this country or another country?
No, in this country.
Most black men are the head of the family?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not true. All the
well, maybe it's not true where you came from.
No, but all the stats shows that most black men are not the head of the family, they're headed up by black women.
No, that's not so. I wouldn't agree with that.
You agree with that? That most black men are not the head of their families? Pastor?
Yes.
Do you agree with Helen, with Pat or me, that most black men are not the head of their families?
I agree that there is a significant number of missing men in the black family. Absentee
would you
dads.
say most?
I don't know if I could say most because I'm not sure what those statistics are.
Yeah, it's most. 70% of black babies are born out of wedlock. Would that be most?
Well, we're only on the conversation of black.
Right.
But now this is in all races.
No, but we're talking about the black family. And in the black family, 70% of black babies are out of wedlock. So would that be most?
That would be most, saying 70%.
Right.
Yes.
Was there something you disagree with me about that I've said or you heard me say on the show or anything? And then we're coming back to you until you be thinking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I sure will.
You just have attributed, seem like every downfall, every bad decision that's made by a man or a child that was raised by a black woman, you just seem like you attribute it to her. I think that you put no responsibility on black men as far as being absentee parents in the family unit. I think you're pretty hard on the black woman.
Okay. Well, I say that the reason that the kids are screwed up is because the mothers and grandmothers are screwing them up. And the mothers and grandmothers are doing it because the man is weak. If the black man was strong, he got married, and guide his wife and children in the right way to go, then we wouldn't have these problems.
Do you consider yourself to be a strong black man?
I'm becoming strong, yes. I was one of those weak black men too. I had a baby out of wedlock at 19. I couldn't deal with the average black woman. I would just screw them and walk away from them because, especially when the hell come out of them, you know. And it's hard the hardest thing in the world for the black man to deal with is not racism, but it's the black woman. She's real mean and angry. And she's angry because her father was weak, the men she get involved with are weak, and that anger just being passed on generation to generation. But it wasn't until I forgave my mother for hating my father and taking it out on us that I was able to understand and overcome what had happened to me.
Well, how did you find it within yourself to muster up that forgiveness, so to speak, toward your mother?
That's a good question. When I started seeking God, start questioning things, why am I so weak? Why am I afraid to deal with the black woman? Why do I just have sex with her and leave her? Why don't I care about it?
Well, are you gay?
He caused me to realize, I'll answer that question. He caused me to realize that it was my resentment toward my mother for being angry at my father and taking it out on us, and my father for not being there. And when I realized that my mother couldn't help herself, because you need a father and a mother in the home to raise children. A woman can't do it on her own because she can only take kids so far. And then I forgave my parents, and when I forgave them, God forgave me, and that's when my life changed. You said, why didn't you ask me, am I gay?
Well, I just asked, are you gay?
Well, why? Why you ask?
Well,
there has to be a
because
reason.
you know, a lot of times when men have issues with women, they look to the, they turn toward the same sex for comfort.
But I told you, I turned to God. I started seeking to understand why I was that way.
Well, there's a lot of men who turn to God and other men. There's a lot of homosexuals professing to be in relationship with
I know,
God.
but when they turn into man, then I turn to God.
But
I do want to say to you, you're right. That's why a lot of black men are becoming homosexual, because of the anger that they feel toward their mothers.
yeah, and that's why I was asking.
You become like what you hate.
So, are you gay?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not. What else did you disagree with me on?
Just like you just said about the anger and the animosity that you had with your mom.
Yes.
And you now feel as though you've released that when you got in
Yes.
church. But that has not been released, because you still hold that right now.
And why do
at this moment.
Why do you say I hold it?
Because of the way you feel about black women.
How do I feel about that?
You feel like they can't do a job. They cannot raise their children alone.
They can.
I know, yes, they can.
How
I
is
know
that?
of black women that have children, that have went to college, have degrees, have wonderful jobs, wonderful homes. Their children are doing fine. So that is not so.
So
The thing of it is, just a second, sir. The thing of it is that you're looking at these issues in your view. But you have to know other people. I don't know what your circle is, but you need a larger circle so that you can see that this does not happen everywhere and with everybody.
That's why I say not all, but most.
That's not, no, you're saying that now. But when you speak it, you say black women.
I say
is
most.
what you're
I
saying.
always say most, not all. But let me ask you this. If it's possible for women to do it alone, why did God make man and woman?
Well, see, the thing of that is God made man and woman to be together, to raise a family. But things don't always go as planned, you know. And when they don't go as planned, then we have to do the best we can, you know.
Right.
And then doing our best. Black women are strong women. We're not weak. We're very strong women. And I'm sorry that you were hurt in a relationship. You yet hold that. You're holding on to your hurt. But it's time to let go of your hurt. When you let go of your hurt, then you'll be able to look at these things and you'll justify them in a much different view.
Do you think that black women are strong too?
I think black women are strong.
I don't think that black women are strong.
And I think that most black men do have a problem with black women, because we know who we are. And once we ever get a revelation who God say we are and who God call us to be, you can't talk us out of it.
You say you think that most black men have problems with
I
black
think they're
women
intimidated. I think they're intimidated.
Why would they be intimidated of the black woman?
That's a good question for you to look inside of yourself and ask.
Let me tell you why. First, I want to say that it's not true that most black women are strong. It's just that the men are so weak and make the woman look like she's strong. But most black women, not all, but most black women are angry.
No.
You know, they resent the black man because of his weakness, right? And
well, why, if that's the case, if you're saying that a black woman resent a black man because of his weakness, why, it sounds like to me that you're saying that the solution would be to marry a white man or a man of a different color, a different race. That would be the answer to the black woman's problem.
Why are you getting that impression?
Well, because you keep saying that the black woman is angry because of the black men being so weak, and the woman is disappointed.
Where do you think her anger comes from? If it's not from resenting her father and the men in her life for being weak? Where is that anger coming from?
I don't believe that every black woman is
I didn't
angry,
say
or
every.
even
Most
black
of them are.
women are angry. I don't believe that they are.
But let me tell you the solution. The solution is not to marry a white woman or marry out the race. The solution is to start dealing with it, being honest about what went wrong so that we can change the situation. It's the truth that's going to set us free from it.
But you know what? You have
So what we're saying is that face what happened to you, forgive, because when you forgive others, then God will forgive you, and so that you don't repeat that cycle. It's not the black man or the black woman shouldn't leave their race. They start dealing with the issue. Black women deserve to have a good, strong black man. And so we're asking black men to drop their anger, to forgive, so that they can be men and do it in the right way.
So you're saying the black man and the black woman is angry.
Yes.
So anger plus anger is anger.
That's right.
So you're saying we're just one big race of angry people.
Most of us are, yes. Most black people are just angry.
And what would be your
angry,
solution?
Facing it and forgiving.
Facing and forgiving.
When you forgive, then God will change you. He'll change you from that anger. Do you disagree with me that most black women are angry?
I do disagree with you.
You disagree with me too?
Totally.
Okay, this afternoon when you get back home, go to the post office or to any local bank and ask that black woman more than one question. That's my test. You can test it just in the post office.
Well, see, maybe you ran into that problem.
No, you have
but
too.
We haven't. No, I haven't. I ran into
Couldn't
it
that be an
with
individual
not
person?
only a black woman.
I'm sorry?
I haven't just ran into that with a black woman. I've ran into that
Of
with
course,
all races.
but
not only at the post office or
Right.
at the bank, but at the grocery store.
With
You
that
know,
black
and just
teller,
all
female
different-
teller, huh?
No. I've ran into very sweet people. We are not all angry.
I-
Just
not
because
all.
you were
I'm
angry.
saying not
Well,
all.
I have a
most of us
business.
are not.
Let
I
me
have
ask
a
you
business.
You were in
and-
that
I know, but
group.
let me ask this first, ladies.
Okay.
Do you hear me saying not all?
Yes, we do
Okay,
hear
we'll
you
go
saying
with
not
not
we'll
all.
go with not all.
Okay,
but
your
let's-
husband's out. On the way home, I'm saying not all, but most. Not all.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
even dealing
Now, I
with
want you
most,
guys to go
most
to the
is
post
a
office and
significant
find out.
number.
I'm
It's a
sorry?
significant number.
Right.
And I'm in business, and I have all kind of races, all kind of women, men come through the store, children, and I don't lose my temper with them. I'm asked the same question over and over. I deal with people
So
every
you're
day.
in that category of not all, but most.
Yes,
So
but
you're not a
I-
part of the most, right? You're the exceptions to the rule.
Yes, but I found that I found more women that has more of my attributes than not. Yes.
How many? There must be 10 women in Plainville, and that's all, right?
No.
Let me ask you this. You guys are denying that most black women are angry. You're denying that.
I'm
Yes.
denying it.
And
Yes.
both, you're a
Yes.
preacher, you're a
Yes.
Christian,
Yes, I am.
and you're denying that most black women on TV,
Right.
they're going to
on
put the
TV.
camera right in your face.
Uh-huh. Yes.
On TV, you're denying that most black women are so angry.
I'm a black woman and I'm not angry.
So why do
and
you
my
think-
father wasn't always in the home. And I think I made a pretty good person.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
Yeah,
interview
my
your
father,
husband.
and I love, no, you can.
You
say
sit
it.
here all
And I
sweet and
love-
nice. I bet you hard to live with.
I love, no, not
You
at
listen
all.
to your husband?
Yes, I do.
Is he your head?
Yes.
And so when your husband tell you to do something, you do it without
Yes.
lipping up. Okay, I'm going to talk to him next time I come back.
Okay.
All right.
You're more than welcome to do so.
Why do you think so many black men are marrying non-black or getting involved with non-black women if it's not because of the anger?
It's just the fad that's going on. That's all.
And why do
they're
you
just
think they're
doing
doing
what other people are doing.
I think it's because we are strong, and I think it's because you just can't tell us anything. And when you look at different interracial relationships, I think that most of the things that black people go through, especially women, I think once we have a made-up mind and we're determined to do what God has called us to do, and the opportunities have been made available for doors for us to walk through, I think we're not going to let anyone stop us from obtaining what God has already ordained for us to have. And I think a lot of times black men have a problem with just allowing us to be who we are. I think that they have something within them, most of them, not all, have something within them where they need to feel that they have a valid role in life. They're not being validated by society. Society say that they can never measure up to their white counterpart. So instead of fighting that issue and dealing with that issue, they try to dominate and control women and make them feel inferior so that they can feel superior. And that way they feel like they do have a valid place in life or in society. And I think sometimes they can be hard on women, and they don't love women the way Christ instituted for them to love women.
And
they look at women as being property instead of loving the woman, you know, because even Adam said, wow, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. If you dishonor a woman, you're dishonoring yourself. And only a disturbed, crazy, deranged person would self-mutilate.
So why don't black men love black women?
I don't think that they don't love them.
You just said they didn't.
No, I'm saying if they mistreat them and abuse them and dishonor them, it's just like dishonoring and abusing themselves. And only a disturbed person would self-mutilate.
What type of man would want to deal with a woman that won't listen? You know, she thinks she knows it all and got lip and service, and you ain't going to tell me what to do.
The same type of woman that will deal with a black man?
Let me finish the question. Listen to the man.
Okay. He said, listen to the man.
What kind of man would want to put up with that? And you're right in what you just said, but it's not a good thing. A lot of black men don't want to be dealing with some woman he got to fight with every time he need to get things done.
But if you love a black woman the right way, you won't have to fight her.
But who determines what the right way is?
She does.
That's a problem.
She does.
She does.
Well, the same way you. But yes, a real man will listen.
Why would a real man listen to a woman that's going to determine what the right way is?
Because a real man does not feel like they have to dominate or rule or lord over a woman.
So why is she trying to dominate and rule and lord over men?
They're not. You know what?
You just said she determined what that is.
No, determining doesn't mean that you're trying to rule or lord over things. Determining means that you want to allow.
You're trying to get it your way.
No, you're not trying to get it your way.
You're not trying to get it his way.
No. It is a mutual agreement.
You said she does.
She defines it because we have to tell.
Why can't he define it?
Well, why can't they both come together and define it?
Why can't he define it?
Well, let me put it like this.
No, answer that question, Pastor Brooks.
I think they need to come together.
No, you said she does.
Well, because we have to express ourselves to you guys because you don't get it.
Pat, why would a man want to be with a woman that it got to be her way?
He shouldn't want to be with a woman that it has to be her way.
You hear that?
It's not
so
that
that's why they're
to
leaving.
You know what it all adds up to is follow suit. You know, you treat me like I treat you. If I'm good to you, then you ought to be able to be good to me.
But you're supposed to be good.
There's no deal about
that's not the way
you got to treat me like I want to be treated.
If you love
God, if I'm good to you, then you be good to me in return.
No, if you love God, you're supposed to be good to your husband, even if he's not good to you.
That's right.
So then,
your husband is supposed to be. Just a second.
You disagree
Your
with
husband
that?
is supposed to be good to you, and then you can easily be good to him. That's the problem. You know, I imagine the lady you were talking about a little bit ago. Now, something went wrong to where she evidently wasn't happy.
I told you
when a woman is happy, then you don't have to worry about anything.
And what does it take to make a woman happy?
Loving her. And loving her feels it all. Just loving her.
When you say love, do you mean correcting her, not letting her just have a way?
In a loving way. Correcting her if it's something that endangers her.
What's a loving way? Telling her the truth without being afraid?
No.
That's not love.
No. Loving
It's not
her.
loving when you tell her the truth.
No. Love her. If you love her, then you're not going to tell her anything wrong. You're not going to be harsh to her. You're going to treat her and respect her as of who she is. She is your wife or your woman.
Do you think that he should love her the way she think he should love her, or the way he think he should love her?
Well, who better to tell you what a woman's needs are in a relationship than the woman?
That's a good question.
So
very good question.
Yes.
So you think a woman is more capable of telling a man what her needs are than a man is telling a woman what her needs are?
Exactly.
You agree with that?
Yes.
You do agree with that?
Yes, I agree
Both
with
are
that.
wrong. Women don't know what they want.
That's not true.
Yeah, women, the hardest thing, any man that try to please a woman end up in a nut house.
That's
Have you
dirty-
noticed that?
I don't
Because
know any
there's
that
nothing
I don't
he
know
can
any
do
that
to
went
please
there.
her.
No, that's not
They
so.
either end up in a nut house or become bums or alcoholics.
No, that's not
Because
so.
if you open the door for her, she doesn't like it.
That's
If you
not
don't
true.
open the door for her, she doesn't like it.
That's not true.
If she tell you to get up, she doesn't like it.
That's
If
not
you
true.
don't get up, she doesn't like. Women don't know what they want. That's why men have to turn back to God
But
and allow God to guide them, and then they love their wife the way that Christ loved them. You cannot love your wife according to what your wife thinks you should do because women don't know what they want. Am I wrong about that, Pastor?
You're wrong.
you're wrong.
I'm wrong, Pastor?
You're wrong.
So you're saying that a man should not love Christ first and then love his wife the way Christ loved him.
No, I said that you're wrong by that statement that you made that women don't know
Yes.
what they want.
What woman-
It's only scriptural that the man does love his wife the way Christ loves the church.
Right, but it's not the way the woman thinks she should be loved.
Now, in a relationship, I can only speak on my marriage. I've been married 15 years. And between my husband and I, who else can tell him better than I how to love me and what
Christ.
my needs are and what my desires are?
You can't tell your husband how to love you.
Yes, I can.
No, Christ
I
has to
can
tell
tell
him.
him what I need in the relationship for us to stay compatible, for us to
Like
stay
what, for
on one
example?
accord.
Give me that
Well,
example,
well,
how you need to be loved.
for example, if I come in and I'm having a bad day, or I'm getting beat up by the world, or it's ministry is tough because we have to deal with people like you
Right.
all the time.
You
So
don't meet many people like me.
yes,
No,
I
you
do.
don't.
Yes, I do.
Nuh-uh.
Believe me, you
No,
come
you
in all
don't.
forms,
You don't
all
meet many
shapes,
people
all
like me.
sizes,
But
all
anyway,
colors.
because of time, give me an example.
Well, and I come in, and one thing my husband does graciously, he will set the jacuzzi for me. We'll get in the jacuzzi together. Sometime he'll have supper ready for me, or he may just go out and pick me up something special just to give me that extra pep that I need after having a hard day. He knows how to treat me. My husband knows how to love his woman. He knows.
No wonder
He
your
knows.
husband didn't want to come on. Oh, no. And you agree with that?
Yes, I think that's beautiful.
Do your husband treat you that way too?
Yes.
Your husband from the old school. He does not act that
What
way.
makes you think that?
I see your husband sitting over there. He don't act that way. I don't care what you say. You're not being honest, Pat. Pat is not telling the truth. Pat, why are you doing that? Your husband is from the old school.
That it doesn't make any difference about
It
an
does
age
make
or
a
an
difference
old
because
school.
the older men know how to do it better than these young ones. The young ones are like that.
Or
Your
like,
husband
or like
don't act
hers.
that way.
Are you from
What
the
you
old
mean
school?
like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Are you from the
Yes.
old school?
I'm
That's
55
why you're
years old, from the
single.
old school.
That's why
Let me
you're
say this-
single.
Let me say this. If
Yeah.
I were your husband, and you, first of all, you wouldn't be going out as no minister. And if you did come in talking about draw your water and stuff, I'll make you quit right then, because it should be the other way around and not that way.
No, it shouldn't.
A woman ain't got no business going out of the home working that hard that she got to come back stressed, and especially if she has children,
Well-
you shouldn't be going out there anyway.
Life is
So-
hard, whether you're working outside of the home or in the home.
No, right, but
Life is hard.
That's right. That's why God made your role to be in the home and his role to be outside the home.
That is not
To
true.
go out and provide for. Are you saying that's not true?
That is not true. If
You
you
a
read,
pastor.
if you read the scriptures,
agree with that,
Reverend
Pat?
Peterson,
Am I wrong
if
about
you
that?
read the scripture,
Wait, I
I kind
there
of
were
like your
all
idea, but
there
See,
were
uh-huh.
all kind of women. What about Lydia, the seller of purple?
I don't know about no Lydia, but I know about you. Pat, you agree with me?
That's
I
the
kind of like
problem.
your idea where you're thinking, but
that's
that
God's
that
idea,
doesn't
too.
mean that
It would
doesn't
be
mean
nice.
I'm
That's
right.
God's idea
Yeah,
too.
it would be nice.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's what I'm trying to do, to get that family back in order, where instead of making babies out of wedlock, get married first and have your children.
Yes.
The mother stay home and watch over the children, so they have somebody there. The father's out providing, and the woman's at home doing what God create
Yeah,
women to
but
do.
you can do
You
that
talk a
without-
good
and-
game.
Yeah.
You
Hold on,
talk a
just hold on,
good
let me-
game,
hold on.
but you're not
Hold on.
married.
Hold on a minute. Say what now?
You can do that without saying that the man is ignorant, the black man is ignorant, and all that. It doesn't take that to get it in order the way you're talking about.
What do you mean?
What you do is you teach that. Instead, see what you're teaching, you're making black people angry because of the things that you're saying.
But I'm telling
what
the
you
truth,
just
though.
said would work a whole lot better than what you've been
Not
saying.
with Pat. I mean, not with Pastor Brooks.
Yeah, it would.
Yes.
Pastor
But
Brooks
yes,
don't like
he
that
would.
order.
Yes.
I do. I love
yes, she likes
order.
that order.
So you would love to be home and not go out and work and not go out and preach and raise your children, let your husband go out and provide.
My husband is the best provider.
That's not the
that
question.
one
You would
could
love
have.
to have it the way I just said.
Oh no,
Why not?
because God put it in me to obtain some things in life. I don't have to break bread to be blessed.
But
I
raising children
I can be an
is
entrepreneur, run a business, be a mother, be a wife, be a student, be a minister, run
That's
a
not
ministry.
from God, though.
Yes, it is
God
from God.
wants you to be a married woman with children, watching over the children, loving your husband and your children in the right way.
If that's the
And
case,
he wants your
Reverend
husband. He wants your husband to go out and do those
If
things.
that's the case, why aren't you married? You talk a good game, but you're not. You're watching the fight, but you're not in the fight
But what you don't understand,
because you're not even married.
What you don't understand, if you were not married and you wanted to run the street and do those things, that's a different story. You
But
gotta
why
work.
don't you get in the game? Why don't you get in the fight?
But I don't understand the question.
Yes, you're talking about you have all the answers to marriage, and you're not even married.
That don't mean
you have
was
all
Jesus
the
married?
answers.
Was Jesus married?
You're not Jesus.
No, was Jesus married?
You're not Jesus.
Answer the question.
You're not Jesus.
Was Jesus married?
I think you
No, he
look.
wasn't. But
Did-
like she
did
said,
he have the
you're not
answers?
Get
Jesus.
in the fight with
Did
them.
he have the
That's what-
answers to
the
marriage?
best.
Reverend Peterson.
Did he have the answers
You
to
can't
marriage?
do what he did, not on that level.
But if he's working through me,
if
why?
you want
Oh,
to teach
hold on.
the black
I got to answer both of
people-
you. I have 1 minute left.
If
I have 1 minute left.
if you want to teach
Let
the
me ask
black
you,
people
Pat.
what to do, well then, like she
Pat,
said,
do you
get
have
in
to
the
be
game.
married to
That's
have
Pat.
This
common
is Pat.
sense?
That's Pat.
I'm
Do you
Pat.
have to be, Helen, do you have to be married to have common sense?
No, you don't.
Okay. We're out of time. I appreciate you guys coming in. We're going to have you back.
You had to throw that
You
in,
don't
huh?
have to be married to have common sense. Jesus wasn't married to tell you how to live right. And if you love him and he's working through you, you don't have to be married to tell people how to have a good marriage. You got to love what's right more than anything else in the world. Do what's right, then you have a good marriage or a good single life. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hi, my name is Jesse Lee Peterson. I host the Jesse Lee Peterson Show here on God's Learning Channel. I'd like to invite you to write me, call me, let me hear from you, email me if you have any questions or concern about what we deal with on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. We reveal the lies so you can see the truth. We expose the false black leaders. We expose false black preachers. We deal with relationships. We want to set people free here on the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. We're going to put our address up, our phone number and email. So if you'd like to be a guest on the show, if you have some questions about the show, comments about the show, disagree or agree with us, let us hear from you. The Jesse Lee Peterson Show here on God's Learning Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the letters and phone calls that we have already received. I want to make it clear, I am an American. No African American here. Here, 100% American. Jesse Lee Peterson, thank you.
For an audio or video copy of this program, please call or write the address on the screen. Please include the program number when ordering.